Hey guys, it's Will and I'm back. So today's video is here in the snake room, which means we're not doing an unboxing, we're not doing an unveiling or anything like that. Instead, today's video is going to be on a topic that I actually got from Olympus Reptiles chat the other night. So if y'all don't know, Olympus Reptiles is trying to do a live once a week, maybe sometimes twice a week. I've been dropping in there at night, trying to help his chat out a little bit because he gets so many comments that he can't answer. So I try and answer comments for people. And one of the questions asked was what combinations of ball pythons ends up having lethal ramifications. So today I wanted to do a video answering that question and talking about all the other known issues within the ball python community. Whether it's the spider wobble or anything else, we're going to be jumping right into it. So without much ado, the first known issue that we have is actually not a bad issue. It's just an abnormality within ball pythons, and that's your banana gene. They honestly have some very odd sex ratios. Normally if you're breeding a banana to any other gene out there, all your bananas will either be male or they will be female. And the rest that aren't banana will be the opposite. There are a few exceptions to this that have come out, but few and far between. And I don't know exactly what's going on there. We used to think it was a sex-linked gene, but the more we look at it, I don't think that's what it is. Because male makers shouldn't be making females, female makers shouldn't be making males if it was completely sex-linked. But there's number one. So I know everybody out there is probably sitting here going, spider, spider, spider. Yes, spider has a wobble. But spider isn't the only one that has a wobble. There's multiple different genes and combinations of genes out there that have wobble. And some of these are much worse than spider. Or at least spider by itself. So spider is known to have a wobble. Woma, hidden gene woma, champagne, super sables, the Powerball, sable times spider, and champagne times hidden gene woma are all known to have wobbles. Your champagne times hidden gene woma is known to probably be the worst wobble. So most people don't even breed these combinations anymore. Same with the sable times spider. You're looking at a significant wobble. And they're very difficult to hatch. Most of the time, they don't even hatch. But if you do hatch a sable spider, just be aware that it is going to have a severe wobble. I've never seen a case that doesn't. Now, your Powerballs, your Super Sables, your hidden gene woma and woma, yes, they have a wobble just like spider. And as long as it isn't a horrible wobble, I don't see a point in not breeding it. I just say breed them responsibly. I don't advocate, sitting here going out and breeding ones with horrible wobbles. If they show almost no visible sign of wobble, that's the ones I tend to want people to breed. If we can breed the wobble all the way out in generations to come, that would be amazing. Brian Gundy is actually working on that now. That's one of his pet projects, is trying to breed the wobble out of spider. If y'all haven't seen that, go check that out for us. And I will post links to that down in the description below. So other issues out there, let's go with the blue-eyed leucistic complex. Normally we're going to be talking about lesser here. A lesser times lesser comes out as an all-white snake. Beautiful snake. But they have been known to have bug eyes. It doesn't happen all the time. It's kind of rare, but when it does happen, they are very prevalent. They are larger eyes. And when I say lesser, I do mean lesser, platinum, and butter all together. I consider that all one gene. I know multiple people say it does different things. I believe it's all one gene. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But that's the way I look at it. It's all one gene. And then your lesser times piebald has also been known to have really small eyes And I believe there's been 2 cases now of lesser pieds being born without any eyes at all. Now, that doesn't stop people from breeding these, and it wouldn't even stop me from breeding them. It's a very low occurrence, very low, as bug eyes and small eyes both there. I have heard the argument that in the wild, the bug eyes and the small eyes both would be adaptations of the lesser gene in a way to help them actually survive and progenate in the wild. So bigger eyes in the wild would help them see better in the dark, and then small eyes would force them to rely solely on their heat pits for hunting, and they wouldn't want to go out during the daylight either way. Those that do go out in the daylight, a white snake in the wild would be killed. But we aren't in the wild, we are in captivity. And it's our job to breed these things responsibly. So if you do have one that comes out with bug eyes or small eyes, if you, I would sell those as pets, or keep them for yourself and raise them as pets and not breed them. That's just me personally, though. Past the super lesser and the lesser pied, you have the super cinnamon and the super black pastel, which have been known to have duck-billing and kinking. And I've been told that the kinking is rare, about 1 out of every 20 babies. That's not really all that rare to me. That's my idea of rare is less than 2%. When you start getting upwards of 5%, 10% and above, you're looking at odds, say a 10 egg clutch, you're going to have chance of one of those babies really being severely kinked. Duckbill, I don't know exactly what the odds are on that. I didn't really look that up before I started this video, but duckbilling does happen. But on the positive side, if you do want to go for that all black snake, like you're trying to go for a panda pied, the Huffman gene is up and coming, and it hasn't been shown to have the duckbill or the rare kinking yet. Instead, it's not shown any of that yet, and it is in that same family. So hopefully, with our fingers crossed, the Huffman gene will be able to replace the cinnamon and the black pastel in their super forms when trying to do things like your panda pieds. Some of your other issues out there, we're going to go into like desert. Desert is a great gene, very beautiful. It only has one known issue, and that's females have a serious issue laying eggs. Males don't seem to have a problem breeding, but the females really do have trouble creating offspring. So that is something to keep in the back of your mind. If you're wanting to work with a desert gene, your production levels might be a little lower. Speaking of subfertility, you also have the caramel albinos. One of my favorite genes out there, as everybody knows, is albinos and pieds. I love them both. I will eventually be working with lavender albinos, but I don't think I'll be working with the caramel albinos just because they do have issues with the subfertility, and they have been known to kink severely. A lot of times with babies needing to be euthanized. So unfortunately, the caramel albino isn't a gene I'm going to be working with. I know there are people out there who are working with the caramel albino gene, trying to keep it alive and things of that nature, and I'm proud of them. You know, these genes only exist in our care because we pulled them out of the wild, and with people working with them, you know, we ensure that they do progress into the future for future generations to see. You know, I know they have issues, but those who are doing it, it's more a labor of love for them, and they're not doing it for, you know, trying to chase the next big thing or anything like that. And they are beautiful animals. It's just you have to be really careful, and if babies do hatch, then you have to check them over really well for kinking and other issues that have been known. So the last issue that we're going to talk about, again, is the lethal combinations. There's only a few that I know of. champagne times spider, lethal combination all the way around. The homozygous spider or super spider, they don't even think half of those eggs make it through incubation. There's only been 3 supposed super spiders that have hatched, and they didn't make it more than a day or so outside of the eggs before, unfortunately, they expired and passed on. So the homozygous spider and your champagne time spider are animals that most people try not to breed. You also have your pearls, which is a super woma. For some reason or other, most of these never make it. I've heard there's a few examples that did make it, but I haven't seen any, so I can't really comment on that as too much, other than I would like to see them, but with high mortality rates, I don't think people should be trying to breed them. And finally, I believe the super champagne also is known to be lethal. So that's 4 combinations of snakes that are known to be lethal. Your champagne times spider, your pearl, your super champagne, and spider times spider, all lethal. Again, with wobble, you have your spiders, your womas, hidden gene womas, champagne, super sables, power balls, sable times spider, champagne times hidden gene woma. Now I think that's it. There could be one more, but I don't remember right off the top of my head. And then other genes just to kind of keep an eye on. With kinking, you got caramel albino, you got the super cinnamon, super black pastels. So just a few combinations that people really do need to look out for in combinations if you're breeding. Just think about ahead of time. Am I doing a pairing that could cause this? If you're not, go for it. If you are, reevaluate, make sure it's something you're really ready to handle if it happens coming out of the egg. So I want to say thank you all for watching. I know this wasn't the most upbeat video out there, but hopefully this will educate people on some combinations of genes that are out there that do have issues. I want to say I hope you all have a blessed night and have a wonderful one.